The answer is this. Accept the premise that faith is not in decline. It isn't disappearing inevitably under the weight of scientific and technological progress. It is still here with us, not just surviving, but thriving. In an era of globalization, of political interdependence, where the world is ever more swiftly opening up, and the cliché about a global community becomes an economic, political, often social reality. In this new world, how religious faith develops will have a profound impact. The forces shaping this world at this moment are so strong. And they all tend in one direction. They are opening the world up. I sometimes say to people that in modern politics, the dividing line is often less between traditional left versus right, but more about open versus closed. Mass migration is changing communities, even countries. People communicate ideas and images instantly around the world, creating immediate political and ideological movements in a ferment of quickly devoured information. Economically, the world system is ever more dependent on confidence, robust when things are good, extraordinarily brittle when confidence dips. So the world is interdependent today, economically, politically, even to an extent, ideologically. The divide then is between those who see this as positive, the opening up, offering opportunity, and those who see it as threatening and therefore wish to close down. As you can see from the US presidential race, there are new questions that cross traditional party lines. Free trade versus protection, engagement in foreign policy or isolation, supporting immigration or opposing it. In each of these issues, it is less left versus right than open versus closed. And all these issues derive from a fear that globalization is throwing people and cultures and countries together, but with no common sense of values or understanding of each other. The landmark Gallup poll being taken worldwide now demonstrates the huge centrality of cultural and intercultural sensitivity as to how globalization is perceived. It is in this context that the role of faith is especially important, not least because most religions were global even before political and economic systems were. If people of faith reach out to one another, learn to coexist, believe in respecting the other, they can play an important part in reducing that fear and tension, being proud of their own distinctive religious and often cultural identity, but open and in amity towards those of a different religion. Alternatively, religious faith could be used to bolster, to promote, to intensify the very clash of civilizations we seek to avoid. That is why it matters to those of different faiths and those of none to have a powerful interfaith encounter, precisely because such an encounter symbolizes and enacts a world of coexistence, not exclusion. In fact, I would widen the argument still further. I believe faith can transform and humanize the impersonal forces of globalization and shape the values of the changing set of economic and power relationships springing up in the early 21st century. This is one of the issues I'll explore in the Faith and Globalization course which I'm starting with Yale University later this year.